Don't bother me, I'm working. Don't bother me, I'm working. Don't bother me, I'm working. Working, 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 work. Don't bother me, bother me, bother me, bother me.
So stay out. You understand? Stay out.
welcome to the Friday nights. I'm Jason Sandberg. Fellas, a great week for me here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you recall this. This is The Tigress by Mike Hoffman. Came out about 25 years ago, like 1999, 2000. Mike Hoffman and Bud Root kind of had their own little black and white resurgence going. Bud Root had the Cave Woman, which was kind of cheesecake, and then Mike Hoffman had the Tigress. Inspired by Frank Frazetta, Al Williamson. The artwork was just beautiful. I had like the first 3 issues. They were very hard to track down. And then I discovered last week that he actually collected this in a hardcover. And I'll show you a little bit of a sample of the artwork here. Just beautiful, evocative of like Mark Schultz or Frank Frazetta or Al Williamson. So highly recommend hunting this down. It's a beautiful book. I'm looking forward to rereading these stories and getting reacquainted.
You know, that doesn't look old. That art looks like modern kind of.
Yeah, he's. I don't think he ever worked for the big two, and I don't really know much else about him. But I recall he had a really strong following. And these books were hard. They were just the distribution issues. Like the same time Jupiter was out, I don't think it found the audience it deserved. But it beautiful work. And then Craig, it's now serious. It is now serious.
Wow.
You know that I've been getting reacquainted with Will Eisner's The Spirit. I would read the kitchen sink books in the 80s when I could find them. I'm reacquainting myself, and I've been getting those best ofs. It is now serious, Craig. It is serious. This is volume 1 of the Spirit Archives. This is the first in a 27 volume series. I gotta say, Craig, this is the earliest work of Will Eisner on the Spirit. This is the most readable Golden Age comic books I've come across. Now, I've read the first couple of years of Action, Detective, Batman. Even the Jack Kirby and Joe Simon's Captain America, it's hard to read Golden Age comics. Not the case with Will Eisner's The Spirit. So this man was magical, and I'm going to continue on this journey. So this is volume 1, about halfway through that.
You put me to shame every week with the volume of books you read. Like I struggle just to make sure I've read the book of whoever like my guests coming on before they come on the show.
You know, all day at work, I'm reading technical manuals and writing technical manuals. So I need this escapism. Right. As you all know, Jupiter issue 1 is in demand on Fun My Comic and Indiegogo. And as my little blurbage says right here, I am right now working on the cover for Jupiter issue 2. Once I have the cover, I will be launching the sign-up page on Indiegogo. I'm going to time it. Craig's going to put his sign-up page at the same time. We'll have some synergy going. Issue 2 won't launch until probably Q1 of next year, but it is humming along. It will be worth the wait. It'll be over 50 pages.
Nice.
Craig, how was your week?
My week was really hectic, actually. I was telling Jason before the show. I made that mistake some people make where you don't put off till tomorrow, which you can do today. And I got cocky. I had everything ready for this show on Monday, and I waited to start working on it till Thursday. But I still managed to put it all together.
That intro was sweet. That music was awesome. Do you know like who that was or anything?
So I think he's a YouTuber. His name's Pogo or something, or Pongo or something like that. He also did the Data singing song where we're Data singing on the bridge, and people use that.
Oh, okay.
It's the exact same creator that did that one too.
I'm sending an email to myself saying Pongo
or Pogo. Yeah,
it was
Data singing. If you put Data singing, that'll pop right.
Oh, okay.
Also, too. So we had Anime on. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Anime's books came in here. Onto the Blade #1, and then I also got an extra art book. So yeah, I had. I look forward to seeing when he does next and coming up. But it was a fun book, like a manga Dragon Ball Z type book. But I got a couple good chuckles out of me. Right, it's always good when you're reading a book and you laugh because like the jokes are tailored to your liking. So yeah, I enjoyed reading that. Other than that, like I said, I had a hectic week, and I'll make sure I'm never going to put things off thinking I've got all kinds of time, and then all of a sudden you don't. So.
Craig, remember, when this show feels like work, it's a sign you're doing it wrong. So don't ever stress out. We could go in cold. We can go in unprepared. A good time.
Just wing it.
Thank you for what you do in terms of your.
Be like, fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live.
It's the military. So I was in the military. I was institutionalized for like 26 years of service, and then before that, I was a cadet for another 4 years. So I mean, it's pretty much as soon as I could learn to walk and ride a bicycle, I was pretty much doing the military thing. So, anyways, I need that, and I know it drives Jason nuts because even with the show, I'm very structured and formatted, and everything in its place, and I just need that sort of outlet to sort of channel that OCD.
Good. So. Just don't stress about it.
Yeah. That's true. Oh no, I'm good. I'm pretty chill. I'm happy to be here tonight. Actually, I was looking forward to tonight's show.
Per, how was your week? What's up?
Good. I launched Hotel Story 2. That was kind of a big part of it. So it's kind of just been doing that. I have some random drama in my neighborhood, just with like I'm actually the one spying on the crackheads rather than the crackheads. They aren't messing with me.
Are you fully deputized as a police informant?
I'm staring out my window with my notebook, like tracking who's doing what where. And from my window, I have multiple windows in my house from like every angle, and they're open, so I get lots of sounds too. It's all bouncing around. There's a big giant church parking lot past the alleyway right behind my house, and that doubles, especially at night, as like crackhead meetup or whatever. So I'm like, don't even know. There's this creepy lady too. She pulls up in her car every morning, and like because there's an empty lot next to me. So she pulls up in the alleyway behind that lot. It's like something a crackhead would do, and she's creepy, but I don't know if she's crackhead. And I'm just like, what is she doing? She always pulls up there. She's always there. And then I saw her once. She was walking her cat, so like maybe her cat could like sit there or something. I'm like, what are you doing? It's her cat's on a leash. And I actually grabbed my bike and I followed her on my bike once because I wanted to know where she went.
Where's the cat
she lives? Yeah, she actually lives really close. So I'm like, why do you drive like 3 blocks to fucking let your cat piss in this empty lot right by my house every morning? She was there again this morning. I'm like, God. But the where she does live is crackhead central, and her house is a crack house. So I'm like, I don't know.
You're not using that as a blanket statement for like meth heads and fentanyl. You're saying it's actual crack.
Yeah, I think it's actually in my neighborhood. Maybe it's a little more fentanyl-y these days, I guess.
Well, the fentanyl, you get the zombies, and then you get the ones with the stairs, like
it's like meth and fentanyl up here in the Pacific Northwest.
Crack doesn't make you do the weird contortions. They're usually like picking through things, looking for like, it gets really sad and tragic.
Yeah. So Per, like a week or two ago on Rogan, there was this lady who is, she has a theory that there were so many serial killers in the Pacific Northwest because of lead poisoning. I could only get about 20 minutes into it. I said, this lady's bonkers. Now I'm here in the Midwest where we've got run of the mill.
You guys got a bunch of killers too, don't you?
That's Wisconsin.
That's what did it to the Romans too, isn't it?
What's that?
A lot of crazy Roman dictators was because of the lead exposure.
Yeah, the lead leaching in from the cups and stuff like that. So you, Perry, you might want to check that out and see if your mileage varies, because you're in the thick of it. Yeah, you could gauge whether or not her theory holds true. But that was her crackpot theory, that she said it was lead poisoning that led to all these 1970s serial killers in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, I was in close proximity to 3 serial killers, and I think I shook the hand of one of them. So.
Is that in Canada?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that was
I
the
feel
Air
like
Force.
Canada would breed a lot of killers.
He was the commander of the Air Force wing that I flew out back and forth to Afghanistan, and all those commanders would line up and shake your hand. It would get really awkward because you're just shaking all these high-ranking people. You just want to get on the plane, right? You're going to fly all the way halfway across around the world. But I guarantee he was probably in one of those lineups. So,
oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
You touched hands with a serial killer. That means there's like a certain kind of mental illness where if you touch someone who is a killer, then you worry that you're going to become a killer.
Yeah.
Here's the freaky part. Like, have you ever had that premonition or that bing spider sense thing that goes off? I actually had that when I was going through that line. That one of these people I shook my hands is not right. Like they are.
Oh
evil.
Yeah.
Wow. I had touched the hand of evil. Yeah.
I had that once at a comic convention, and it was It was the silver-haired feminist woman. You guys remember the one who cancels? She canceled the guy, and Zoe. It was Zoe Quinn.
So Zoe Quinn.
Zoe Quinn.
Yeah, because it was shoulder to shoulder at the Seattle Comic-Con, Emerald City,
Right.
and they were just. It was way too busy. I never went back because it was so many people. Like it was kind of disgusting. And yeah, all of a sudden my spidey sense goes off, and I turned to my right, and Zoe Quinn brushed past me, and I was like, "Oh damn!" But I don't know, like it's aura, that she has, for better or worse, for good or evil, she had a little aura going on. But.
Yeah, there are people that do have that. It's true.
Yeah, if you got that ability, pair, you're uniquely qualified to be the neighborhood watch guy. So this is good.
One of my neighbors is like kind of a crazy guy, and he's like crazy, like comedic. What like someone would guess crazy would be if you're trying to fake it. I'm like, dude, you're just like bonkers. Like, what is your deal? And I'm trying to decide how violent he is, if I can be his friend or not. Yeah,
Barrett would be a good elevator pitch for a new version of Rear Window, where you're this internationally known comic book artist who's always up in like his attic looking out the window, and he's like, "What's going on out there?"
If he's cool, he'll want to go out to bars and out to places. If he wants to come into his apartment and watch movies, run.
Yeah, that's a good point. That'll be my test, my litmus test.
Craig, who's in the chat tonight?
Yeah. Actually, do you want to do the baseline?
Yeah, let's do a baseline.
Do that
so something we've been doing is we want to take credit for all the good things that happened during the show.
Of course.
And the format of the show is we do the news stories and talk to the chat, and then we look at the campaign. So we've been doing this thing called baseline. So if any of the people that are watching back before we actually spotlight the campaign, we get credit for it. So let's see. We got a baseline of 71 backers. 71 backers is the baseline.
And the link to this is pinned to the top of the chat. So if anyone's listening, anyone's watching, go to YouTube, you just go to the top of the chat. Boop, the link is right there. So there you go.
So if you're watching and you have to drop away from the show because you've got to go chase the crackheads out of the neighborhood church, feel free to back now. Give us a shout in the chat. You don't have to back when we actually look at the campaign. It's all credit. It's all credit. Craig, we got 43 people watching live on this. This is the second Friday of August.
Yeah, 106th episode. 106 is what we're
gosh.
At. 2 years. Over 2 years we've been doing this.
Cool.
Is that crazy?
We're 2 weeks into year 3. We got 43 people watching live. So Craig, who is in the chat tonight?
Yeah, so first and foremost, Vulcan has taken the lead, number 1 position once again. Says happy weekend to all. Happy weekend as well to you, Vulcan. We're going to have Vulcan on one day before the,
Yeah, when he gets the camera.
Yeah. And then guess who popped in our chat nice and early?
Hojo.
Says, I'm here the earliest I've ever been, and it's because I love you. Do we got his bumper? Do you want to?
Yeah, I got his bumper here. Just give me a second here. How was Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hojo doing a drive-by in the Mythos machine. Go back, Mythos 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
The plan was always to make a whole bunch of those, but just like me, Jason's busy. Well, we all are busy in our own ways.
I will. When the actual content part of Jupiter 2 gets done, I'll start working on. I'll reopen Adobe Animate and start working on my trailers. And when I'm doing that, I'll snip together some bumpers for Belmont and John's Lombox and Vulcan and all that kind of stuff. Rest assured, I will do that.
Like one thing I appreciate, like I retired, I work harder now. Like I'm doing more things now I retired than I was when in the military. But I mean, I was at that rank where you just basically show up and you just direct people, right? You just make things happen from the comfort of where you are at, right? But anyways, I'm rambling. Hojo says, I would Justice Pete to know the Knicks are winning the NBA title this year.
Who's Pete?
The Knicks? No way. Hojo, me and Hojo talk basketball a little bit in DMs.
Okay.
But I would be, that'd be cool, but it's just, I don't know. Sorry, Hojo.
Here we got Vulcan also says hail. Infinite Entertainment's dropping by, says hello, lads. Yes.
Hey, some good names in the chat. Belmont, a couple people I haven't seen in a while.
Good
people.
Good guys.
Yeah. Michael Ferrero's joining us. Says hail, gentlemen.
Michael
hail in the
F,
chat.
what's up?
Yeah, hail to you as well. Crenshaw's here.
Crenshaw.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for popping in and saying hi. Like, appreciate it. Here's John's long box popping in saying hello. Hello to you as well, John.
One of John's characters he's been kind of previewing is this guy called the Public Eye, and it totally evokes this like Steve Ditko The Question vibe. I assume the character is going to show up in Heroic Tales 3, but John's just he's channeling this Bronze Age Bronze Age wonder, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I haven't read the Heroic Tales 2 yet. I've got to get into it. I usually, like I said, when I know a guest's coming on, I read up everything I have before they come on.
I like that John, he's an electrician in New York City, and he's been like 80 stories underground. Yeah. And one of the characters is the Subterranean. And you're like, oh, this is like well researched, or whatever. It's like authentic.
Yeah, I've seen some of the pictures he's posted. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's awesome. It reminds me of Dark Souls, those pictures.
Crenshaw was asking here. I had that GIF when I was a kid. I don't have that GIF. When I was a kid, the across the street neighbor ended up murdering his grandmother in a horrible way. When that happened, I thought this guy's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's actually, I feel like that's almost a good thing. You're just a trusting, nice guy. You give everyone a chance until they screw it up.
Oh, there's Vulcan reference. He's gonna get a camera set up just so he can join us. Nice. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Vulcan, you're in the chat on a lot of shows, so I'm sure once you get the camera, people are going to want to have you do cameos.
Yes. Oh, Alex VRB is joining us.
Hey,
Alex, what's up?
Hotel Story 2 by Per Berg's Salmon's Dark Pact. Mysterious Hotel. Drenched in Blood. The Dead Rise. Synthesize Again. Nice.
He's giving me a custom tagline.
That's very cool. Here's Narwhal Books. If you haven't subscribed already, please click on that and do so. We all appreciate getting more subscribers. I think we all get a little sad inside when we lose a couple. I don't get sad when I lose 1 or 2. I get sad when I lose 5 or 10. But
just tell yourself they were bots.
Yes. That's exactly how I deal with it. Yes.
Yeah.
As Jason says, you're losing people that probably weren't true believers anyway, I guess. Yeah. There's Belmont. Justin Belmont says, "Hail to everyone, hail to you." Justin, thank you for joining us. And then Alex is telling us he's having internet issues. And then Infinite Entertainment is very interesting.
Yes, it is. It is Cool Ranch.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I see it.
It's lurking.
Oh, this is cool. Radio Stories Now is joining us. This is hi.
Yeah, I think that's the first time she's been in the chat. I follow her on Twitter. She follows me on Twitter. She's a great gal. So great to see her in the chat.
Nice. Cool. I think she liked or retweeted one of my promo tweets for Hotel Story. So thanks for that, Radio.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, thank you for joining us. Alex is just letting us know. Yeah, it's very cool.
You guys, I got one other quick crackhead story.
Yeah.
See, I can tell it really, really fast. But so I was biking
anytime. Prayer. Feel free to make the show go into a complete stop in order to insert a crackhead story. That's why we're here.
I'm going to tell it in between comments. I'm like, yeah, you can flash more comments and say hi to people, interrupt me. But yeah, so I was biking, and biking doesn't mix with crackheads because they like bike.
No.
And
because they want the bike to buy crack.
Yeah, and I'm biking through this part of town because my town has huge forested areas with roads through them in the middle of the city, but you can't even hike in this forest because there's needles everywhere. But so I'm going through this kind of shady road, and I see up at the head, it's uphill. I'm getting really tired, and there's 3 crackheads at the top staring me down. So approaching them, pumping on my bike. It's a 1 speed, so I can't change gears. So I'm just like getting some exercise. But I had an escape plan. I was like, if these fuckers try to jump me, I'm just going to turn on, go downhill, and I'll coast away. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm tired, because I'm like, they're probably thinking he's tired, we're going to jump him. But I get close, and then they were they were playing golf with rocks. So they had some golf clubs and rocks, and they were just like tapping them on the freaking pavement. And so I was
Distracted.
like, yeah, I was like, you guys playing golf? And they're like, what? I'm like, you guys playing golf? They're like, huh? I'm like, golf. They're like, no. And by then I passed them, and that was it.
have you considered like going to like a Kinko's or something like that and like making some fake like dollar bills and like crumpling them up just so you can use it to distract them? Like just
Yeah.
like,
No, they'd be angry. They'd be angry because they would have legitimately went and used that money, and then they got nothing for it. Next time,
Yeah,
they
that's
see you.
true. Yeah, because they will see you around. They're like crows; they remember.
That's right. Exactly. John's Lombok's based on Dijon. That's what he says. And then Alice letting us know, is YouTube chat throwing errors for anyone else? Not for me so far, but it's all getting glitchy. Because
let me look over.
You know how they're letting the AI do everything now, right? You realize they're letting AI run, like you on your Android. Hey, do you want AI to manage this? And all these Google's managed by AI, X is managed by AI. So all these glitches and stuff we're seeing now, I think is part of that, because I never saw like my phone and the internet glitching like I'm in the Matrix,
Yeah, everyone's vibe coding. That's what they said, that the T app got hacked because this is like a random theory, but because it was all coded with AI.
Oh, is that is the site where the girls complain about guys?
Yeah.
Is that
I believe it.
All right, we got some people talking about Cool Ranch. Right. Yep. And John's long box. John's on the right side of history. All right. Speaking of the right side of history, Craig, who is what is the first of our three hard hitting under the radar news stories for the week?
Okay. So, yeah, and like I said, this was one of them interesting weeks where I had a whole bunch of topics to choose from. So the first one here I brought to us comes from the BBC. Seven were tested for viruses after they had their vampire facials, and yes, vampire facials is the thing. So what these people do is they have their blood. Like again, I got my reading glasses on. It says there on the right hand side under the picture there of Kim Kardashian, because of course she would get facials.
All right.
What it is, but they basically take their blood and they store their dead blood, and then they come back at a later time and they re-inject your dead blood back into your own face and scalp and stuff.
That can't be good.
No, so
gross.
So for any case, when they went and did this, and they realized they may have crossed blood from people to people, like they didn't quite have it marked, and they might have given someone else's. So very quickly, then they had to test everyone for Hep A, Hep B, Hep C, and HIV. And this place was on pins and needles. Hey, you gotta love it. In any case. They were just praying, right? Please don't have it, because they're going to get sued. So they were quite happy afterwards. All those patients made it through, and none of them had any STDs or viruses.
Per, I'm still processing this story, but can you think of anything else that screams louder? First world problem.
Yeah, this would be it. You know what else this reminds me of is it was the WikiLeaks. Do you remember, what was it called? It was Maria Abramovich and
those crazy food things, and eating food, and
they ate cake shaped like humans to like symbolize cannibalism and stuff, and they would do stuff like this. What did they called their rituals? Something
spirit cooking.
Spirit entertainment cooking. Yeah, that's creepy. And I heard the one blonde chick who gets her head cut off in the movie Seven. You guys know what I'm talking about?
When smell her candles.
Yeah, there's that. And she was doing something where they take the discarded foreskin of babies and they make a skin paste out of it, and then she was rubbing that on her face. It kind of makes you like hate them. That's
So
like
It's just
now,
wrong.
hold on, pause.
Ugh.
We thrown out some names here of celebrities. Aren't they the same people that told us to trust the science?
That's true.
yeah, I know.
What's going on? So, Craig, I haven't had a
Mhm.
beer tonight, but I'm still trying to process this.
Right.
So these celebrities,
People with
or
money.
people with
Right.
money,
Well, so this is where I actually
said, I'm gonna go donate blood, but I'm not gonna give it to people that are in an emergency room or going to surgery. I'm gonna donate blood for myself.
Can I take
I
this a
want
step
you
further
to
from you? Is this what happens in rich like Bel Air and Beverly Hills and like rich neighborhoods? Is some weirdo wacko with millions of dollars of their husband's money goes and gets the latest freaking trend and then shows up at their friend's house and they go, "Oh wow, I love your face. What have you been doing? I've been injecting my face with blood. Oh, we need to go do that because you look so great." And then it becomes a fad. Is that how it happens?
Alex is on to something. This does sound like Aztec stuff.
Oh yeah.
So I'm still trying to get through like the first couple lines of this. Okay, so the theory is,
Right.
the theory is, if you take your blood, which has got your DNA and your blood type and stuff like
Hemoglobin, whatever.
hemoglobins, and you basically let it become dead because you're freezing. It's no longer like, it's dead. And then they take like a spray bottle and they spray it on you. What?
No, they inject it. They're injecting it. That's why I said the whole pins and needles pun. They're injecting it back into their skin, back in their skull and stuff, because they're trying to get their bodies to react to it in some sort of way.
What? What?
Maybe it induces your body to send more white blood cells and rushes it, and then
what is the pseudoscience other than like it has the word vampire in it and that makes them perk their ears up and they're like, you know what there's something the rich get into is it's recreational enemas. Have you guys heard of this? It's like another fad. Yeah, they just spend all day like swishing around water in and out of their butt. They buy like an enema machine and just like go to town.
Okay, now is this Per? Is this like a once a month type deal, or is this like 9 to 5 gig? Like, what is this?
I think it might be weekly. I only know I know one guy who may or may not do it in Seattle, and then I know it was in a thing about Mel Gibson, and it was supposed to be a hit piece, and they said he uses enemas on himself. Blah 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 blah.
Well, it's better than he uses it on vagrants and homeless people. Oh yeah, I guess.
He lures them in and gives them enemas.
It's like he brushes his own teeth. Oh, all right. John Lombach's coming in with some zingers. My proctologist has poor death percentage. Crenshaw's we'll do some Alex Jones stuff here. It's because these lizard people have no blood in the reptilians.
That's right.
Do you guys remember there was a movie in the 70s, and it was like the Countess Dracula, and it was like it was this English lady, and she would bathe in the blood of virgins and stuff like that. Is this where this came from?
It's like related to that for sure, yeah. Especially with Kim Kardashian involved.
Oh, SF Gaming says there's no possible way it actually yields good results. I think RFK Jr. would agree.
Well, after they were on the verge of all these lawsuits and absolutely terrified, the place that was doing this says they're not doing it anymore. That was the last time they will be doing this. Yeah, they're done with the vampire facials.
Horses are out of the barn. I mean, this is crazy.
This is a crazy world, and what people will do. Trust the science, like you said.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, this is just even when I take the most gullible celebrity, I don't even know how they got. It is such a suspension of disbelief that there has to be no belief there to begin with, right?
What's sad in most of that plastic surgery, if they just left themselves alone and let themselves age gracefully, they'd probably look far more attractive and less like weird alien type you know, in the next 30 years.
Yeah.
But,
Crenshaw
Yeah, they have to like
it's-
double down on that kind of.
Crenshaw says it's a stem cell thing. Well, Crenshaw, you could maybe tell them that, but if the blood's frozen and like dead, the stem cells are dead too, right?
it's just bizarre behavior. There's
This
no
is
logic
bizarre.
behind it. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
You know
we
what? Maybe they say it's like it's like a mud bath, and they're like, you know, blood has iron, mud has iron, blah blah blah.
I don't even think I'm done with mud baths. now that you mention it. I mean, that's like it's sort of like you go to some spa and it's like, well, I could go for the sauna, I could go for massage. No, let me do this. Let me. I want out for a half hour. I want to look like a medieval peasant. Put me in a bunch of mud.
As long as it isn't colostomy bags. That's the.
Oh yeah, that is probably how it started. We were trying to figure out how it started. It's a bunch of rich people in a mud bath, and then someone goes, "You know what's better than mud baths? Blood baths."
Bloodbath. That's my favorite Rob Liefeld character.
I found an interesting story about Nine Inch Nails in 1992. Do you remember when they were on stage performing and they were all covered in mud?
No, that's cool.
Was that Woodstock '92?
So
So their agent or whoever thought it'd be cool for them to go find a mud puddle and roll around before they went on stage, and they did. Found something near stage. What was a nice big puddle of wetness to roll around in. But what they didn't realize is that was downhill from the porta potties. So when you see them the next time they're on stage, they're covered in what? Yes, good piece of fun fact for you. So, we started this topic, so I thought you needed to know that information.
For those of you on the West Coast where the show is airing during dinner time, we apologize. We apologize for tonight's lead topic. Craig, we got 60 people watching live. What is topic number 2 tonight?
Yes, glad to get off this topic because it's just gross. Okay, topic number 2 comes from New York Post here. The rare interstellar object the size of Manhattan could be an alien probe, according to Harvard scientists. So they're speculating a lot of things based on its trajectory to Earth. I mean, you've both read this article as well.
No, I didn't read it.
Oh, no. Based on its behavior and the comet trail it's putting. And because it even has an angle that they're basically saying that it's sort of planned as if we were to try to intercept it. It's the best angle for it to get away and avoid us. It's little things like this that they think that this thing is not a fluke and it must be extraterrestrial.
Per, anytime I see a sentence end with according to Harvard scientists, I immediately discount it. Per, where do you land on this?
Yeah, when you say that makes me kind of believe. Like I'll believe it when I see it, I guess. But then I always get curious, like what does happen if it is aliens? They're sending a probe. I don't know. Like it's still that's actually kind of not really news. So yep, aliens came and went, and they got some of their information. We don't know what they got, and we don't know what they're going to do with it. They might do something in another 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
Craig, help me understand. This thing does not have like a propulsion system. It has no apparent propulsion system. True or false?
It hasn't been seen going faster, but it's been seen slowing down, and that's the part that, space. There's no resistance; it's a vacuum. Why is an object in passing putting out a comet jet, as it's coming by us, and slowing down as if it's doing a drive-by as it passes us and continues on its way out of our solar system? That's kind of odd.
Why would it? Why would it be that large? Like what do you think is inside? Is it like a whole ecosystem inside that's self-sustaining and like why is it so big?
If they need their McDonald's hamburgers, this you need quite a big spacecraft for that.
Unless these beings developed on a planet that was like 100 times Earth's mass, and they were like like Krypton or something like that. Why would they need something so big to probe?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe their entire civilization lives in that thing. Who knows? They packed everyone up, the kids, the furniture, all of it, because they knew they weren't going back, right? Just trying to answer those questions.
Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Per, do you think there's like I think they'd be looking for like radio signals from this or any RF signature? What do you think?
Yeah. I think we should try to intercept it and see what it does. We should call their bluff. And then I think it's just going to be made of some cool material like red kryptonite. And we can just go for that.
There's an asteroid out there called Psyche 23. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, it's the gold one, right?
Yeah, it's a planet core, and it's like worth something like 36 quintillion gajillion. Like it would basically be enough money for every human being on the planet to have $2.3 billion. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's cool. That would destroy our economy in a weird way, but like I want to see that happen.
Remember, in Zimbabwe, everybody's a billionaire.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, is this Craig? Is this thing like? I know it's like oblong, and it's slowing down. Is it spinning or rotating or is it just like?
I didn't get any of that. Most of this just had to do with those Harvard scientists trying to justify why they think it's extraterrestrial, and it's not just some random piece of extraterrestrial space debris that just happens to be passing through our solar system. Like, think of the rareness of that. Not only did like the entire universe big bang and shatter away from itself, but at some point something is crossing paths with something else as it's moving away. Like, that's rare.
Is this thing coming from the same direction as Amamamua? Because this
these are all good questions, Jason.
This Ariel, who's the scientist guy? Ariel Levy or no? Dr. Loeb, R.V. Loeb.
Okay.
He's the one who postulated that Amamamua was also an alien probe. And I think that was like 2015, 2017.
Yes.
Is it coming from the same direction?
That's a good question. Is it the same aliens? You know, is this a galactic version of like what's that game show where people have to go on that journey and they have to get things? You know, who knows, right?
Was it because we found Bitcoin that they're like, we have to go to them now?
Yeah, the nuclear weapons. They said, but Bitcoin.
Have you guys heard the theory that Bitcoin is from a time traveling AI from the future?
No, that's wild.
I've heard that one. But
so you say so there's an AI in the future where we won't let it have money, so it makes its own money, so that later it can do what it wants.
Yeah, I guess it completely takes over our economic system.
Wild. Good. That's a good.
Humans as slaves to the AI, right? That's a future. I could see that happening.
Well, Craig, when is this thing gonna get close enough for us to be actually worried about it?
It's one of those things. They're still watching it over the next couple weeks to see what it does, so I can watch and keep you updated to say if it does anything different or unusual. But
very good. Per, by any chance, did you see the Fantastic Four movie?
No, I only saw Superman.
Okay, but gotcha.
Did you guys see it?
No, I can't. I told a buddy at work, I said, "There's no way I'm going to see that Fantastic Four movie. So just spoil it for me." And he basically told me what's up with Galactus. And I'm like, that's a new take, but nah, I'm still not going to see it.
Now that you mention it, this is like that. What the trailer gives away kind of a lot. It's like whatever Silver Surfer coming and Galactus coming. And blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
Maybe that's happening.
It's coming. It's coming. All right, Craig, what is topic number 3 today? We got 59 people watching live. The chat is hopping.
Thank you for
What's
joining
topic
us.
number 3?
Our third and final topic for this evening comes from, I believe, MSN. Is where that says under, I can't see it. Anyway, why? Oh man, this word. Peniaphobia. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yep.
Peniaphobia is exploding among our young people, and why we should be concerned. So what? The first time I seen this, everyone first questions, right? Does this have to do with the WNBA? Like, what's?
Yeah.
No, it has to do with the fear of being poor and not having any money.
I think the fear of being poor is an ancient, age-old impetus to industry and sobriety. I think that the whole point of motivating people to work hard and excel is a fear of becoming poor. So I don't understand what's new to this. Per, what's your take on this?
Yeah, it sounds like the way you put it, you're kind of convincing me it's a good thing. Those whippersnappers should be scared of getting poor. They should get a job.
Yep.
They should stop get off their butts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I just put it together that it's like pennies. They're scared of pennies. You know, I said at a coffee shop the other day that I bought a coffee and the barista was like, "I'm just going to give you a dime instead of 4 pennies." And I was like, "Thank you so much. I hate pennies." And I was like, "Do I really hate pennies though? Maybe I got Peniaphobia. I don't know."
Right.
I like how the barista is like giving away margin. He's running the cash register.
She wants the
Maybe
tip.
Yeah. Is this Portland? Where are you living in? Seattle? It's crazy. It's so true to cliche.
Mhm.
Craig, we don't scoff at people having a fear of fire. You should have a natural fear of fire.
Yes,
right?
there's certain things. Yeah, fear of
And-
heights. Like
And you should have a fear of you should be afraid of water, but you should be afraid of drowning.
it's your fight or flight instinct, right? Like this
Yeah.
is what kept us alive in nature. Is the ability to react to things quickly. Like it's primordial.
Are you thinking this is just people are this is this yet another example of taking a very human, very real, very visceral human instinct, which has been cultivated over billions of years of evolution, and suddenly in this day and age calling it a mental illness?
In some ways, yes and no. I think this has more to do with consumerism and how, as a society, we have people who can barely survive on their own. I guarantee there are grown adults that don't know how to operate a stove. Like, this, there are grown adults who don't know how to change a tire. We could probably come up with all kinds of scenarios where you could approach people and they wouldn't know what to do. And yes, this is the fear that all these things that this generation loves can go away if they can't keep up with inflation, right? Rising cost of food, rising cost of living. And that's where the fear entails, is the day-to-day struggle of managing their money so they end up a homeless crackhead that Per's watching in his back alley.
Per, those crackheads, do you think they have got Peniaphobia?
Yeah,
Not
actually,
anymore.
they almost like don't. They have Penny Embracia or whatever.
Right. That's right.
So this is a hot button topic, and for that reason, we did do an investigative report. Let us do our investigative report, Craig, because this is not a story we can make fun of this topic. We can't dismiss it. There's some validity here.
So we do have unique topic content that is our own, and this is a Friday nights exclusive investigative report.
Peniaphobia. So first off, before we talk about what it is, we're going to talk about what it's not. Craig, next slide. Okay. It is not fear of having dildos thrown at you. So
hey, I guess that was
Craig did a little thing in comedy called foreshadowing.
Right. I said they should just embrace this. They should come out with a WNBA official dildo signed by the championship winning team and raise money.
You know what's funny about the dildo thing? It's kind of creative and outside the box. I never would have guessed in a million years that would be a news item that goes viral, that all of a sudden everyone's throwing green dildos at WNBA games.
They're
it's what the world needs right now.
They're not searching for knives or guns, right? There's not metal detectors for those. They're looking for the dildos.
So it was 1991, 1992. I was at a Twins game. It was a day game at the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome, a Twins game. We're in the upper stands. And down and to the right, these guys smuggled in a blow-up sex doll. And they blew it up and they sailed it down, and it just it flew like Superman down.
Nice.
And no one
on a mission, right? Music.
So what if the green dildos have been happening this whole time, but for some reason now it's allowed to enter the public news channels or whatever?
Yeah. But Per, are you aware that the NBA is taking this so seriously that they're banning bags from the games?
So you can't even. Oh, so the only way to smuggle a dildo in is what?
Yeah. Craig, what's worse? What's worse, getting a dildo thrown on the court that was smuggled into a bag, or getting a dildo thrown on the court that was smuggled in via an orifice?
Now it's getting even more unhygienic, right? People might have just thrown it out of the packaging for a laugh, but now it's
you know how drug mules they duct tape it to their sides and stuff. You open your trench coat or whatever, you just got dildos strapped to your belt.
All right, so this is this is not peniaphobia, but clearly there is a fear of falling dildos. Craig, next slide.
Tripping on one, falling on one. Okay.
So we're gonna look at this. We're gonna take a serious look at this. This anxiety that this younger generation is experiencing. It's not made up. It's not imaginary. It all does come down to numbers.
Is this a Starbucks barista that's like freaking out and can't like, work anymore?
I remember that.
Per, is this look at the barista that gave away 7 cents of margin from his corporation to you?
Yeah, it was a girl that for me, but very similar. Not much difference.
Okay, all right.
Tried to bribe you with
I think this
margarine.
guy identifies as a girl, but okay, all right. Craig, next slide. So, student loans. It is a phenomenon of these college students, college graduates, getting in their car, doing TikToks and short clips, talking about the crushing weight of their student loan debts. Per, does your heart go out to these people?
No, but maybe just 1%, because I feel like the system, I just like the colleges are such a scam, and I think they did get tricked just a little bit. But fuck them too.
I have a question for you, because it's very sinister how the student loans work here. So anyone who has student loan debt, if they're working, they can turn on or off the need to pay their debt like a tap. Don't get me wrong, the interest keeps accumulating, but that's an entirely different conversation. But essentially, they work, they have to make payments. They don't work, it can just sit and accumulate, right? So that's the sinisterness, is that they can't declare bankruptcy because they're like, no, not working, don't have an income, don't worry about it. We'll wait until you.
Yeah, I lived in Arizona for a while, and I lived close to an art school, and some of these art schools, there's been like lawsuits kind of thing, like what's it when it's a bunch of people, like a class action
lawsuit, yeah.
Yeah, to get refunds for the money, because it's $100,000, and then students weren't getting jobs. And the Art Institute of Seattle, that happened to. And that was when I went there for 6 quarters back in the day, so I was trying to figure out if I qualify for that, but as far as I can tell, I don't or whatever, or if I do, it's hard to figure out who to talk to. But so yeah, there were these students that went there, and I would go there and get coffee in the morning because they had a cool library and a cool campus even and stuff. And I was kind of that age even, so it wasn't super weird, I don't think. But because I wasn't a student, I was like undercover, you know. Yeah. But I'm in there, and I kind of made friends with some students, and I was like, man, none of you are very good artists, and you're all $100,000 in debt. And I met another guy later who was like terrible artist. He had graduated a few years prior, so he was like more my age, and he said he couldn't use a phone anymore because the debt collectors would call him all the time. So he was just living life off the grid without a phone at this point in his life or whatever. I was like, damn.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna say that I find it ironic that these same people that tell me that I'm wrong about everything and that they're so much smarter than we are, Craig, that they are in this situation. Because if they were as smart as they think they are, they wouldn't be in this situation. Am I wrong?
Yes. Well, definitely there's a lack of life experience with people now. Everyone lives in a fantasy world with social media and the screens. So a lot of times people just think they're right because something told them they're right or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lack of actual life experience, and I think people make up with that, but with being overly confident. It's not necessarily being cocky, just they think they can do things that they really don't know how to do. So.
But not everybody is unhappy, or not everybody believes that they're on the short end of the stick when it comes to student loans. Let's check in with one of our regulars on the show.
Oh boy,
this this is Stacy. She had identifies as a Pez dispenser.
Her name's spelled like Stacy. Not
what's
unusual. That? It's STACY. I was expecting like double A or I's or.
She's a completely normal person. She just identifies as a Pez dispenser.
Oh, okay.
So we checked with Stacy, and we got the lowdown from her because she's also has student loans. Her student loans are double her parents' mortgage. Her
true.
income is half her parents' annual income, but as far as she's concerned, she considers herself to be twice smarter than like half the people. So she realizes it's a challenge, but she's not down. She's good. She's in good shape. She's going to muscle through. So student loans are not the only pain point for these people that are feeding into the peniaphobia. Craig, next slide.
Right.
The housing market. The housing market is crazy. It is crazy. Perry, you bought a house, right?
Yeah. I'm kind of waiting for, hopefully, I'm rooting. I don't know if this is good or bad, but I'm rooting for the rates to go down, and I'm going to refinance the second I can. But
Smart man. Yeah. So yeah, you bought that is the way to go. Buy a house when you're in your like late 20s, early 30s, lock it in, start paying it down, and then refi. That's the smart way to go. The goal is to have the house paid off before you retire, and that way you basically living free. So
like me.
Craig here is one at life. He's in good shape. Let's look at the
what I find funny is, have you looked at some of these apartments nowadays in like New York City and some of the big cities?
We're about to.
Room closets. Oh, are we okay?
Next slide. Go to the next slide. Look at this. Check this place out. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This is what these youngsters are having to deal with in the housing market. $92,000 for that.
Right.
It's like a closet. Per, is this the smallest apartment you've ever seen?
Yeah, that would. Yes, and that's literally a closet. Have you seen the Futurama episode where that's what Fry lives in? But then they find out, like in season 2 or something, that he actually has a closet that he didn't know about, and or maybe it's Bender, and it's a fully sized apartment. What? You weren't using the closet this whole time? He's like, who needs a closet? The closet is the apartment. Yeah, that looks depressing. It looks sad. It's funny they give them high ceilings, though. They're like, all right, you get nothing, but the one direction that you get is the one that you can't utilize. So here you go.
Shelving.
Yeah.
No,
put some ladders and fucking ropes in that, and let them be monkeys in like a zoo or something.
As sad as this apartment is, it can be worse. Craig, next slide.
Yes.
How would you like to live in the O in an IHOP? I would prefer this because of the novelty factor. But yeah, this is what people say, we're going to live in pods, right? We're going to eat paste and live in pods, and that this is unfortunate scenes kind of thing. Yeah.
Greg, if I lived above an IHOP, within about a year, I'd be 300 pounds.
Absolutely.
Just from inhaling, you just inhale the syrupy fumes. Probably
right.
You wouldn't even have to eat. Like, let me out. You're pounding on that freaking porthole there. I do like the porthole. I can appreciate a good porthole.
7x14. Is that like the size of a bed? Like, how big is that?
Crazy. All right, but we did find apartments that were even tighter and more awkward than this one. Next slide. Check this out. There's a $95,000 apartment behind the sign in a Taco Bell. I mean,
what?
It's just yeah.
No, like so if that was like 10 or even 20,000, it would be like fun to as a young person to like whatever try and do that or something, but not 95. It's ridiculous.
But are you living in life when you can, bring your date back to Taco Bell and say this is
that should be like in a movie, a Netflix original or whatever, Tubi original. But yeah, a rom-com. The guy tries to take a date back. He has to read all the sign backwards, all the prices, the order.
All right, so the casa housing is not the only reason this younger generation has peniaphobia. Let's look at the next slide. The grocery bills. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Pierre, you're lucky you don't have kids yet. Because let me tell you, they eat all day long. Everything is so expensive. Craig, this is one.
And they're wasteful.
They're wasteful. Yeah, they're wasteful. Like, well, I've got a 9.5-year-old that won't eat pizza crust. He'll eat pizza, but he won't eat pizza crust.
Right.
It's tough. Yeah. It's tough.
You got to save up the pizza crust and mail it to Africa.
Mm-hmm. What I got to do is I got to trick them into. I gotta save the pizza crust, get marinara, and then tell them it's breadsticks.
Yeah, or like chop it into little squares and then tell them it's croutons or something.
There you go.
Let it get stale so it's crunchy.
All right, we
See
got
if that works on him.
Got 64 people watching live. Let's Alex B's got a I wasn't wasteful as a kid because I spent a lot of time with my Great Depression era grandparents. Yes.
Oh, you know something funny? I have a grandma who's like that, and she once yelled at me out of the blue. One of the only times she's yelled at me is because I had my my pocket was turned inside out randomly because I just done laundry or something. So my pocket was out of my sweatpants, and she goes, "Tuck your pocket back in. You look like a hobo." And I was like, "Oh, okay, sorry."
I like the fact that there's a distinction between being a hobo and being a homeless. That there's
yeah,
two different things. Or sorry, being a vagrant. Being there's like it's like I'm not a wandering vagrant. I'm a hobo. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I get down with hobos.
No.
You know, wait. Once I was on my way to like Walgreens to buy like some
on your bike.
Some like energy bars or something. They're way too expensive, but that's the most close place. And there was a guy who was, there was a guy who was, it was in winter. So I was like wearing a lot of coats and stuff. And there was a guy who had a sign. So he wanted money at the stoplight and I was waiting to cross. So we were chit chatting. He had his dog and I was like petting his dog and stuff. And then we part ways. I'm like, "See you later, man." He's like, "Later." And then I walk like 10 feet and I'm like, he never asked me for money. He thought I was a hobo too. I ran back and gave him $20 because I'm like, I'm not like you. I'm just wearing all these clothes just because it's cold. I'm not a hobo.
I'm not like you.
I'm not like you. Here's some unearned money.
Yeah.
All right, let's dig deeper into this grocery bill dilemma. Next slide. Some people can't even afford a full sandwich. They can only afford a half a sandwich. In your opinion, what is the proper way to cut a sandwich in half?
Oh, I like the diagonal way, I think. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to work at a deli, so I'm a little bit of an expert.
I do recall that. Yeah. I do recall that. What was your favorite? What in your former career as a sandwich artist?
So I've forgotten some of the names of the meats, but there were some weird ones. There was like a marbled, like something, and it had like, it was like gelatinous with all these little chunky liver meats inside of it. And I forget what that one was called. And some people would get it. I was like, what the fuck is this one? It's weird.
All right, we're cracking up radio stories now. Crenshaw says, "My grandpa was a classic jump on a train hobo." Crenshaw, you may next time you come on, you may have to share some tales of days of yore.
Yes.
Infant Entertainment says, "When I was 15, I was waiting for my mom outside a store wearing a raggedy coat."
That 20 probably went pretty far back. I don't know how long ago this was, but
let's put that in the inflation adjuster.
Yeah. That man helped you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I remember commercials with Boxcar Willie.
Right.
It's like country western songs. Michael, what you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is your business. At first, it seemed sweet until he patted him on the buttocks. All right, Craig. Let's look at the other.
Yeah, there's still more.
All right, so this younger generation, they're not imagining things. This Peniaphobia. The Federal Reserve base 2 M2 money supply has gone up crazy amounts. So the hardship that they're feeling is it's actually due to inflation.
Right.
And what's crazy about it is that because we have a fractional reserve banking system, every dollar of base money supply, when it goes into the bank as a deposit, because we have a fractional reserve banking system, can be lent out 9 times, because the banks only have to keep about 10% of their actual book, their ledger, the money, the M3 money supply is the ledger money, meaning the electronic money, the bank accounts and things like that. They only have to keep $9 for every. They can lend out $9 for every $1 they have in deposits.
Don't they do crazy math where it's like they have $10,000, but then they lend out $10,000, but now you owe them $10,000, so now they act like they have $20,000.
That's basically fractional reserve banking. So now it is hard. It is hard to explain this to people, especially people that are younger than 20 years old, 30 years old. But there is a cure. There is a cure. Next slide. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it, but there is a solution to ending the inflation.
Right.
and as Javier Milei said, if printing money would end poverty, printing diplomas would end stupidity.
Yeah.
All right. So sorry to all those people that have student loans. Sorry to all those people that voted for government debt, government inflation. You're just going to have to educate yourself on why you're in such pain. But your pain is real. Your pain is real. Unfortunately, you kind of did it to yourself. All right. Speaking of money, let's look at the campaign.
Oh, before we look at the campaign, you want to see the trailer?
Yeah, let's watch the trailer.
All right. So for 63 that are watching and joining us tonight, Sam, thank you so much for joining us for the Friday nights. Here's the trailer for Hotel Story 2.
Synthesize.
You must be hamming it up for a big tip.
Size. 3 simple syllables. They may not mean much to you now, but by the end of this night, they will.
There's a witch in this hotel. My mission is to stop her. Could mean certain doom for many if she completes her spell.
We're bringing that knowledge back with us to the real world, but we're giving it a special touch.
Don't suppose I know you.
Adrian,
You're a famous party pooper.
at your service.
Hey, that's actually the trailer for part 1, but that's amazing. It's actually kind of maybe better than the second trailer that we did. But so there's 2 trailers, but it's good to promote part 1 because a lot of people are coming in buying either both, or part 1 is actually available too if you just want to dip your toes kind of thing on the campaign.
Is it okay if I pretend I did that on purpose?
Yeah. No, I think it's actually, that's a beautiful thing that happened just now.
So first off, tell us about your collaborator. Who's Jared? Is it Jared Jewell?
Yeah, Jared Jewell. Yeah, I feel like people will get to kind of know him more and more. He's been around. I've known him for like over 10 years now. And I lived in Iowa for a little bit, and kind of same thing. I would spend time on campus, and there was a club. It was actually like a video game making club, but they would dabble in other media. And he hosted a 48-hour comic-a-thon kind of thing. So I went to that, and then his comic was totally the best one. And so I was like, oh, who's this guy? So we kind of became friends through that. We stayed in touch after I left, and he was always on my list to collaborate with. And I was kind of thinking like, we should collaborate on something big, maybe like screw doing something small. And so it ended up being Hotel Story. We've been kind of working on it for like 4 years from inception to completion. And now it is done, which is fun. It's like totally done, 240-page graphic novel between the 2 volumes.
Okay.
Completes the story completely. Depending on like the reaction and stuff like that, there's more we could try and dabble with some animation. We could do some spin-off sequel stuff, but this is totally like complete.
So what's the elevator pitch?
Yeah, it's kind of a simple story, kind of like the way a movie would be. It's like it takes place in one night, but it's in one location. But it's a witch casting a mass sacrifice spell, she's kind of got this situation. It's been 700 years, and it's time for her to repay her deal with the devil from back in the day. So she's got to give him a bunch of souls, basically. So she's going to sacrifice the entire hotel at midnight, and she has some ways she's going about that. And then a handful of patrons of the hotel kind of escape her initial clutches, and they're kind of banding together trying to escape and or stop her even if the opportunity arises. And then there's kind of an angel FBI force that is, the witch is named Salome, and the angel FBI is trying to catch her. It's just one guy that gets in because part of her spell is she puts a force field around the hotel. But one guy can get in. He's kind of the one-man army. His name's Adrian, and he can possess dead bodies. So that's like the first time she's trying to do it without killing anyone, because she knows like that's one of the ways they get in to get her. She's safe behind this like spell, but she does kill someone or someone dies, and then he gets in. So it's like him versus her kind of through the thing. But yeah,
nice.
Here we got, I guess, these are some of the main characters. This is Hal, Connie, Ingrid.
Yeah. It's an ensemble story. So there's like maybe 12 characters even, all pretty even, where it's like, it's kind of it's funny. The Thing is actually like this. Do you guys remember, know the movie The Thing, obviously like a classic with Kurt Russell.
Yes.
If it wasn't Kurt Russell who was cast, then it kind of becomes way more unclear who's the main character. And it's even like him and the awesome black guy are almost even kind of. But the fact he's Kurt Russell, he's the main character. But it's kind of fun. Like he evolves. You don't know he's the main character, even being Kurt Russell, until like the third act or something. Yep. And this is kind of like that. It's like very even amongst the characters. So part of the mystery is even like who's the main character kind of thing. But
nice. Well, you've
Vulcan
picked
lives.
Up,
thanks,
up
and Jason.
backers.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Yes. Sweet.
I wanted. When the first one came out, I forget what was happening. I just didn't have time. It looked interesting, and I was going to back it. So this is my opportunity to play catch up. So I backed 1 and 2.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's awesome, and I love that about offering the second book, because people can do that. So second books have a good chance of like keeping the old train tracks moving or whatever.
It was always a missed opportunity when someone release a campaign issue 2 or 3. And it's like they don't go to their back catalog or even offer or attempt to, like, why wouldn't you just throw a new cover on it and you'd be surprised? But
yeah.
Crenshaw's got a question. Per, how much input do you have on Jared's art in this? Some of his pacing is very Perlian.
Yeah, that's funny because it's kind of like two things. So I think me and Jared like working together because we are like pretty similar, and then also I kind of was pretty hands-on, like helping with layouts and stuff. Not completely, like Jared laid out a ton of the book, but it was kind of collaborative. A lot of it, we're kind of just both doing it. But so that I think it's a little of both there.
Cool. I like this the way you described it. I like the fact that it's just one story, and I can see this being if I was flipping channels and I came across this as a movie, this would be something I would like lock in, and I'd be like, oh, I gotta see what's going on. So you got a good element of a lot of good elements here, and I like the idea of basically saying, well, I'm just gonna like wipe the ledger clean by just sacrificing everybody in this building versus doing the rigmarole of getting one soul at a time.
Yeah.
Great angle.
Yeah, initially one of the first things I emailed Jared or kind of had him watch for inspiration, it's an Italian horror movie called Demons 2. And that's one where demons run rampant in an apartment complex. That's the movie. But that's like, those kind of stories are fun because they're so simple. And like, yeah, a group of people band together and try to escape. They get split up. So you're following A plot, B plot. Like we do all that kind of stuff here. We have a little bit more to a little more world building and some fun magic rules that are happening. Like even in that trailer, like it shows Bruno touch the mirror and the mirror ripples. That happens like halfway through the story. They find out once Salome casts her spell, the mirrors all become liquid and you can enter the mirror world, but you can't breathe in there. So that's one of the ways they kind of survive is by like trying to escape that way or whatever.
That's a great premise.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's like there's some similarities to like Earthbound of kind of what I was talking to Arvid. He kind of pointed out like a version of like my style. I'm like, I think you're onto something, but it's like coming up with these. You can call them magic systems, but they're like one rule basically, and then you try and play with it every single possible way you can in ways that people don't expect to, and then that's a big part of the fun of the story, I think. But,
wow, that's really cool.
And then question, did Jared do the coloring or did you do the coloring?
Yeah, Jared colored it. So he did all the art. The visuals are all him. And then he colored Cerberus too. That's, another book of mine. The second part of that will be coming out soon. And he colored that. So he's kind of a jack of all trades. The coloring style is different on Cerberus too. It's a lot more kind of standard, I guess. And I think he may or may not be like kind of available for that kind of work. If anyone ever wants to reach out to him, I recommend following him on Twitter, or even through me, I could hit him up for you. But he's Housetosis on Twitter, which is like I forget what Housetosis means, if it's a music thing or not, but yeah. He's a musician too. He did all the music for both the trailers. Cool. Speaking of jack of all trades, but.
And Salome the witch, is she like a contemporary witch, or is she an ancient being? Tell us a little more about her.
Yeah. So one thing that's funny is she's like the bad guy, and if you really weigh it of this ensemble style, where you're like, okay, who is the main character? She's actually the main character, but she's the bad guy. But so she ends up. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people, and she's a lot of people's favorite character. And I'm like, but she's the bad guy. Like, are we doing something wrong if people like the bad guy? I think. And so we've been in part 2, we're like trying to make her extra unlikable, but it still like flips back. People like her more, the more unlikable and evil she is. People like her more. We're like,
I always enjoy the villains.
What's happening?
Yeah, I always lived vicariously through the villains and all my science fiction, but that doesn't translate to my real life. But
Yeah. I mean, having a good villain helps. You can't go wrong with that. And she's a lot of fun. But yeah, she's 700 years old, so she's not like that old. She's been doing this kind of deal with the devil thing now. So now by this point, she's like pretty like far down that path. Basically, for the first book, we did a little bonus mini comic that showed her initial deal with the devil, and she's just a girl when she does that, and she is innocent at kind of making a deal with the devil. So she's still there was a time when she was innocent, but.
Many years ago.
Yeah, Alex, we call her the I can fix her character.
Digital Aboriginal says, interesting guest. He goes deep on describing culture. That's always been my thing. Digital Aboriginal sometimes co-hosts on this show when he's got time.
Yep.
Nice.
Letting us know there's a spoiler.
Oh yeah, we blocked out like spoilers and stuff because this is all part 2. But yeah, it's nothing crazy. I don't know, but
for the hotel, did Jared build a model?
Yeah, we mapped it out, and then we did 3D models for all the environments, and we pull those. This is similar to what I do, and this is also kind of part of my influence, but it's how I do Earthbound Grand Prix. So we use that workflow, and actually Foreign Agent was that way way back in the day. But yeah, using the 3D backgrounds with 2D characters drawn over the top will kind of give it a little bit of this like TV animation vibe, kind of thing.
And then Alex is demanding that we play the new trailer. Is that on this?
Yeah, campaign? If you scroll up and hit play,
I can try.
It's just a minute. I don't know. Yeah,
sure.
Ooh, 73 backers. Yeah, thanks you guys.
All right, we'll give her a shot. Let's do it.
Yeah, so we have dabbled in animation now on these trailers, and we have a little side project that we're like, we should get back to that. So if when this promoting the campaign, everything calms down, because it's going to be a long campaign. We're just doing it 60 days straight up, like no like extending or anything. And so it gets calm in the middle, and we might try and work on some animation together.
Crenshaw says, I'd love to play that point and click adventure.
Yeah, and Alex Berry B was saying Hotel Fighter Eternal Championship Edition. I know if it calls that kind of like fun, but I don't know. I would love to work on a video game someday, but it's so much work, and you gotta have a team that you trust and everything.
Pages are wild.
Yeah. This is Hiro Tonfa, where there's 4 fun gallery pictures in the back, and we're gonna reveal some of the other ones as we go. And there's one mini comic that comes with this one. The mini comic, it's funny because it's not like I would like exactly spoil it, so I can kind of just tell you guys, but it's called Security Story. And there is a guy in part 2 where you see him, but he's like a headless security guard, and his body gets utilized by Adrian, who can possess dead bodies. And so to explain where this headless body came from, which is not terribly important. That's what, with these mini comics, it's like lore that it is not necessary to the story, but it's just fun extra stuff. So that's the balance you try to strike. But almost on the first one, it was almost too important because we showed Salome's origin kind of. But for this one, so he's a security guy. It's his first day on the job. It's like it's kind of making fun of Resident Evil 2. So it's his first day on the job. He should have known it was going to be zombies, and then it isn't zombies, so he's an idiot, like, because they're all still alive. You could save him, but he's just blowing people away. And then he sees the housekeeper that got him the job that he's been having an affair with. Her name's Matilda, and she's like, housekeeping, and he's like, no, Matilda, she's not Matilda anymore. Bam, 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 and he like shoots her, and then some other stuff happens. He gets his head cut off, blah blah blah.
Craig, I have to step away just for a minute, do something, to take care of something with the kid. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
But yeah, so I forget what I was going to say. Anything else about the campaign?
Wait, so that was a short story, and then these are some extra pages we got going on here. Down to
that's the mini comic that comes with the book. Yeah, so there are some bonuses everyone gets. Everyone gets a sticker. Everyone gets a mini comic. First 100 backers get a little trading card for the creative block. That's kind of my show I do on Thursdays.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is kind of a fun one too. There's the bonus little preview zine, because Jared has a solo project going on right now that I'm a huge fan of. It's called Mogal Blues, and he's completed the first chapter, about 30 pages. And it's really great. So maybe it's 20, 28 or 24 even. So we're including all of that. And then, so the whole thing might be 40 in the 40s page wise, but I'll put in like 20 pages myself of Percival development art. And I have a little 7-page. It's not really a short story. It's like the first scene of one of the Percival scripts has been drawn out. So I'll include that. It'll be the first time that gets like published kind of.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. Like, you're throwing all kinds of stuff in with this campaign. Does every backer get that, or is it these add-ons
that one's an add-on? Yeah.
Okay.
That would be sweet. But yeah. In the future, like, I missed the golden era where like printing a 40-page zine style black and white book just like 5-6 years ago, it would have been like 25 cents or less per copy. Right. And you could have been like literally just giving it to everyone, and that would be so awesome. But now it's like $3 to print or something.
Right. Print costs everything's gone through the roof over the past few years.
Yeah.
So these are some sequential pages. I'm looking
at. This is just the Percival goes in the preview book. Some of my Percival pages, a little preview, and then I think there's 2, one of Jared's solo books and one of my solo books, so people can get kind of the sampler. But his solo book is the Obel, which is a 48-page like horror story that I really like and recommend.
I think you gave me a reader copy of that a while back, I think.
Oh, okay, sweet. Yeah, and it's awesome. I don't know, it's a lot of fun. It's pretty quick and easy, but it's kind of like a Twilight Zone episode or something. And the making ofs too. So this is actually kind of fun because it was 4 years, and a huge part of our collaboration was emails. and I documented all the emails. So it's like
Nice.
it's the two books together, and it's a lot of problem solving in the emails. So I picture like the target audience is like me when I was in college. I would have loved to have read two creators' emails as they make a comic or whatever.
Mhm.
But so that's kind of a pretty niche audience, but it's fun just to have it kind of documented there. And they do look really cool on a shelf if you put them together, the two making of books. So
Nice.
yeah, the oval, and then my extra book is Nosferatu. So you could get like, I think 7 books total on this campaign. 7 things for sale.
Holy smokes!
Craig, have you read his Nosferatu?
I have not, no, and I know
Very
based on all these rewards and these add-ons, I might be backstage for a while. So this is going to get interesting. We shall see. But actually, do you want me to, Jason? You want me to back out and do my thing right now?
Yeah, you go do your stuff, and we'll just chat a little bit.
All right.
So, Per, what else are you working on that's like in the early, what can you tell us about what you're working on now that's in early stages, where you're doing the artwork? What's your next project? Tell us what you
my
can
schedule.
tell us.
Yeah, my schedule's still like kind of busy. It's funny because stuff got put on hold for working with Mark Miller, and now I'm like playing catch up with some of that, and then hopefully catch all the way up, and then he and I might work again together in like a couple of years, I think was the idea that we've kind of chit chatted about. But yeah, so after this, then I really want to finish Grand Prix 3, which finishes the first trade of Grand Prix. And then that's the first half of the story. So at least half of the story will be done. And I can kind of try and bust through that. That's kind of like Earthbound, like that whole Earthbound arc Grand Prix. It will be 240 pages. Or no, it'll be a little longer. It might be 300 total. So because each release has been like 60 pages, I think. So it'll be the third 60-page release for Grand Prix, and I want to do that like fast. And I have some of it done, so that'll be like, maybe could squeeze it in this year or early next year. And then Brendan Swan, who wrote and drew Disintegration Street, I'm a big fan of his, and I released some of his books through my account on Indiegogo just to get a slightly bigger audience for him. And I hired him to write something for me a couple years ago, and I really love it. And it's just like it's kind of straight up like a manga. He's kind of a weeb. I think he speaks Japanese. He's a white kid as far as I know, but speaks Japanese. And that's what I love about crowdfunding. I'm not worried about cultural appropriation. If anyone like calls us out on that, would just get more money, I think, because people.
If anybody says anything about cultural appropriation, you tell them to go try to balance their checkbook with Roman numerals.
Yeah. No, that's a good line. I'm going to steal that because that
was in Jupiter.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, so I want to draw that book, and it's part 1 of that book is 100 pages. I want to draw it traditionally, but what's funny about that is I want to draw it manga style. So I've been sketching a ton. I just want to get the character designs right. In the evening before I go to bed, I'll watch a little TV, and I've just been drawing the characters. And my plan is I want to draw them like 500 times each because they kind of evolve naturally. If you don't even worry about designing, just draw them 500 times and they'll change.
Yeah, it'll evolve just by itself.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get to that point where the ease, and then I'm not locking it in like it has to be like manga style. It's more like it has to be like super comfortable, like what I'm doing. And it's actually going a little bit in that like Blowguard-y direction, like my cartoony style kind of, but it's going to be fun when that one is ready too. So those are a couple weird outside the box-ish ones. And then I got Percival as kind of a big release that I'm just writing at this point, but that will be my first attempt to get like, kind of try to do, Vatican City style art, and I'll be writing it and like try to get mainstream attention. Maybe try and send it to publishers or something like that. But.
And when you did Vatican City, you worked traditional, right?
Yeah, and I did a campaign to sell the art, and it went pretty good. I sold like of the 80 pieces of art, I sold like over 20, so over a quarter of them.
Nice.
Sold some of the really. It was interesting data of what pages people like
responded
went for too. Yeah, like some of it's obvious, like they go for the splash pages, the covers, and stuff. But sometimes some of it was Mark. Like I'm like, ooh, Mark like set me up for success because he has you draw some insane, awesome shit. Of course, that page is gonna sell for a lot of money or whatever.
Did you catch that Dan Plagle joined us in the chat?
Yep.
Hey Dan, what's up, man?
And then Alex Frog G is coming on our show. I forget which month it is, but he's also going to be a guest very shortly.
So let this be a lesson to you, Crenshaw.
Yeah, thanks.
Let this
Crenshaw.
be a lesson. You wait to see. You wait to see who's going to be on the Friday nights before you back.
Yeah, I always have my guest list all down. I can tell you when they come. Yeah, Infinite Entertainment was the same thing too. He's like, I backed on Monday. It's like, it's all right. It's okay. I'm sure.
We'll take stealth credit for those because they're regulars in chat. So Per, are you gonna continue to work digital and traditional, just depending on the project, to kind of keep foot in both worlds?
Yeah, except traditional is pretty awesome because you can sell the art. So that really, I don't know if the word has spoiled me, but I want to keep trying to do that as much as possible. I have to finish Earthbound because that started digital. I can't switch halfway as far as I know, but then I might switch full on traditional after that. I'm not sure.
You want to see? You want to see if we did our hat trick?
Yeah, let's call up the campaign and take a look. Got 81 people watching live.
There you go.
Thanks for all the viewers. Hey, look at that. That's good dopamine, you guys. Thanks for having me, and thanks for supporting the book and everything.
Nice.
I'm a friend of your show now because I've done it twice. So that's
right.
Yeah, definitely.
And always welcome back. Yes.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want me to visit in your campaign rewards or any other tabs you want me to?
No, we went over it. Well, yeah, thanks for doing that. And it was kind of a good idea playing both trailers because that helps. I think that helps the pitch a lot. Actually, I think people like that. Both trailers are kind of cool.
Cool. So yeah, we're at the hour and a half mark. Is there anything else you want us to share or plug? Like, do you have a regular show or appearances that are coming up?
Yeah, well, Alex VRB in the chat. He's kind of like the fifth member of the creative block. Every Thursday, it's me, Rini, Phil, and Jake, aka Hyper Wizard.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
it's kind of on the craft of comics. We'll have a different topic every week. We'll have a PowerPoint on like that topic, and we've tried introducing now a little news point item that may or may not be semi-inspired by you guys. So
right, that's all good.
Yeah, we do some of that, and then Alex at the end of every show he does a meme with like Chat GPT or something, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Always, so there's actually been like 100
Thursdays.
Memes. Yeah, it's Thursdays at like 10:30 Eastern. It's like
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start watching that. That's actually when I'm working on my show, and I'll just time it, and maybe I'll show.
Yeah, you should check it out. So there's actually a Creative Block YouTube channel now too. It rotates on our channels, but there's one channel that you can go to get them all and just subscribe to that. I think it's just called the Creative Block.
YouTube Alex just shared the link.
Here we go.
That. Sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alex.
Click that right now. I don't know if I can access it. I'll get it. Thanks, Alex.
Cool.
Awesome. So yeah, is there any parting words, any final words, anything from the chat before we get to my outro?
No, just thanks for having me, and thanks for the chat for being here. Yeah, great talking to you guys. This was a fun show. You guys do a good job.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
So this is why Digital Aboriginal hasn't been on the show lately. He's working on a new stand-up routine. Rodney Dangerfield dice.
No respect. Hey. Right?
Per, always great to have you. It was great to have you on. Look forward to seeing you again as you're making the rounds on your next campaign.
Hey, thanks.
So I have my outro. Take some pity on me. I had to rush at the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds I had planned out, and then all of a sudden I had 2 minutes of filler. So I just grabbed literally 2 minutes of stuff. So if you're wondering what the hell's going on, I ran out of time. I'll confess, but I still put something fun together. So
sounds good.
All right. 78 watching again. Thank you so much for coming, and I'm looking forward to reading Hotel Story and Nosferatu because I grabbed that as well. So
So after you get through Craig's outro, his zany outros, go on over to the gutter and see what Aldous and JP are up to.
Yeah. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
One weekend of pampering later.
Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. So hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds. The fine for violating any of these bans is the same as the fine for the ban on burning, $25,000.
What?
And if you're a smoker, for God's sakes, be mindful of where you're butting your butt out. If you don't, and you cause a fire, we will hold you accountable. So what does this mean if you have a home or cottage surrounded by a wooded area? We strongly encourage you to stay out of those woods, regardless of where they are. Please don't do anything that could unnecessarily put you, your family, or your neighbors at risk.
Give yourself up! But I didn't do anything! What are you, boy? Don't make a move! I'll blow your head off! I didn't do anything!
Hey everybody, Jeff Evely here. I'm in Petersfield Provincial Park in the most tyrannical province of Canada, which is Nova Scotia, with my fuzzy friend Axel, where we walk pretty much every single morning. And here you can see that this area is taped off because that trail is the woods. But this area is not taped off because that's not the woods. This area is taped off because that's the woods, and there is a sign here that says trail closed due to extreme fire hazard. So that is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This area is the woods. This area is not the woods. This is the woods. If we go in there, fires will start. Axel! Come on. Come on, buddy. You're going to start a fire. Come on. That's a good boy. Come on, buddy. This area is not the woods. Right, buddy? Now, the first time the Tyrant Tim pulled this crap, this area was the woods, and there were pylons all across this trail, so I could not enter in 2023. But this is 2025, so it's not the woods. This area is the woods.
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. You understand that? You understand?
Good evening, I'm Lisa Carter. The president drops a wild skateboard video, pushing to become a downloadable character in the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. Here's the scoop.
President Trump is going viral with his epic skate edit. He's throwing hammers, insane tricks that are wet, all to lobby for a spot as a DLC in the brand new Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. The 47th president's trading the oval for ollies, showcasing skills that could rival the pros in the game. Here's what he had to say.
Quite frankly, my tricks are tremendous. Some say the best they've seen. But they put these skaters in the game that look like illegals to me. Might have to deport them to get my spot, whatever it takes. And I'd love the White House as a talk. I even built a huge MAGA ramp